Welcome to a new episode of the Vrolijke Vapor. I'll be doing a build for the RBA of the TFV4. It's the single coil build. Well, my ohms reader is on the fritz, so I'll be building on a mod because we really want to test the resistance before we start firing it up. The TFV4 can handle some rather large coils, so I'm using a rather large diameter. Try to get it in the shot so you can see and I still can work. It's a bit awkward for me. I'm trying to look at the screen and my hands at the same time. I wanted about half an ohm, so this should do it. I've got my coil here. See if I can focus on this. It seems I can't. Come on. Ah, there it is. It's a really simple coil. Room. I'm sorry if I'm a bit silent, but I'm actually concentrating here. It's always a bit fiddly with these RBAs. Just not a lot of room. Oh, we're gonna get there. And this isn't even the tough part with this RBA. The wicking can be really fiddly. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. I have some tricks for you that might help. We've got it in there. Try to position it a bit better. Nice and tight. Okay, we have it in there. Now, to cut the excess wire, try to cut it really close to the edge. Because if you got some sticking out, you're bound to have some short circuits. Now, with this one I like to unscrew them a bit, pull it a bit back so that I'm sure it's not hitting the side of the RBA. I want to do that on both sides. Unscrewing it a bit and pulling the wire a bit back to the inside. Repositioning it where we want it. I hope you can follow this, but I'm really doing my best to film, comment and build at the same time, so please bear with me. Well, now to check the resistance. 0.3. That's a nice resistance. We can work with that. Yeah, that's nice. Well, the problem with wicking this RBA is that we can't have it inside the underpiece, because then we can't reach the juice holes. Well, now for the hard part. Yeah, that was the easy part. Wicking this RBA, it can be a really big problem. I'm gonna use the most simple cotton for this one. If you got cotton bacon or anything else, any wick is fine. But I'm gonna do it with just some ordinary unbleached cotton. Make it nice and fluffy. Roll a little. Remember, we put in a fairly large coil, so should have some cotton. Yeah, and the problem with this thing is if you use too much cotton, it's gonna dry it. If you're not gonna use enough, it's gonna leak like there's no tomorrow. Well, okay, it slides easily in and out. That's your test. You have to feel some resistance, but not much. It has to slide easy in and out. Okay. Well, if you want to know how long you should make it, I usually do it to about the O-ring and use that as my mark for cutting. So see it's here, yeah, it's about at the O-ring. Other side too. Fold it here, cut it about the height of the O-ring. Okay, now we have this. Now comes the trick. I had to learn that from somebody else as well, so I have no problem with teaching it to you. Okay, we're gonna fluff it out a little so it's nice and white. Now I'm gonna cut it at an angle. Those little bitty pointy parts, that's the part that's gonna go into the juice channel. just the tip is in the juice channel. Because we cut it at an angle, that should prevent leaking. When you first do this, it's gonna be a trial and error. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty doable. I usually tell people who want to start building RBAs to start off with something simple like the sub tank or the top tank. Those are really easy to build and wick. This takes a bit more practice, but it'll do. And now I seem to have forgotten my liquids. Well, you know what? You look at this wonderful work for a few seconds. I'm gonna get some e-liquid. Yeah, preparation is everything, and well, I'm not everything. Okay, I've got some juice over here. Let's see what I'm gonna put in. Ah, that's nice. So, before we put it back together, I'm gonna prime the coil. Oh, sorry guys, it's a bit. Because when it's wet, it's gonna stay a bit better in place. That's one thing I love about RBAs. You can just prime your coil so much easier than with a standard coil. You see how the juice holes are barely filled with cotton. Oh, and now we can put on the top cap. And you've got your RBA. See the cotton over there, barely touching. So the juice can come right in. Well, that's it for this build. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helps, and hope to see you again in the next episode. Bye!